All right, welcome to Student Affairs Shares, an informative webinar series designed to keep parents and families connected and informed. Each session highlights a specific area within student affairs, offering valuable insights, updates, and resources that support your students' success, well-being, and engagement on campus. And so for our session today, we have Taylor Pullen, the Assistant Director of Community Development from the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life. Welcome, Taylor.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. So, to start us off, Taylor, can you give us a little bit of insight into the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life here at the University of Kansas?
Of course. So, our office, shortened version SFL, oversees about 20% of the undergraduate population here at KU, which is spread out across four different councils and has about 40 different sororities and fraternities. Those councils are broken down to first the Interfraternity Council, or IFC, which is the governing body for traditionally affiliated men's fraternities, and they have about 16 chapters that are both housed and unhoused organization. This council promotes leadership, scholarship, service, and brotherhood among its member organizations. Our second council is the National Panhellenic Council, which is the governing body for the 9 historically Black fraternities and sororities, also known as the Divine Nine. Here at KU, we currently have 7 active sororities and fraternities a part of this council. NPHC promotes unity, leadership, academic excellence, and community service among its organizations, and is rooted in a rich legacy of cultural significance and social justice. Our third council is the Multicultural Greek Council, or MGC, which is the governing body for our culturally based fraternities and sororities, usually including Latinx, Asian American, South Asian, and Pacific Islander. This multicultural organization, currently here at KU, has 6 sororities and fraternities among this council, and they promote cultural awareness, unity, leadership, and academic success. Our last council is the Panhellenic Association, or PHA. That is the governing body for the National Panhellenic Conference, or NPC, 11 sororities here on this campus. They promote sisterhood, scholarship, leadership, and service among its members' chapters, and it supports women's empowerment and personal development while fostering a strong sense of values, community, and mutual respect. So our office provides guidance, resource, and education to promote positive campus involvement and uphold chapter values that align with our organizations and our office's core values of academic achievement, civic and community engagement, belonging, professional development, and lastly, holistic wellness.
Thank you so much, Taylor, for that. That was a great overview of the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life. Can you also provide information about professional staff?
Yes. So currently, our office has 4 professional staff members, but we are growing to include 3 graduates in the fall. So we have a director, a senior associate director for external relations that handles all of our alumni engagement with our advisors, our lovely house directors that oversee those chapters that have facilities. Then my position, I am the assistant director for community development. So I oversee all of our student-facing programming and how we can create a well-rounded community outside of the individual chapter experience. And then lastly, we have our program coordinator for leadership development, and he oversees all the leadership focuses and efforts for our council. Our 3 grads that will be starting in August will be assisting in all of our council support and providing more well-rounded experiences.
Oh, sounds great. Love that so much, Taylor. Can you talk about any upcoming events or initiatives that are happening for students here at KU?
Of course. So I think our first and our biggest up and coming event for one of our councils is our Panhellenic Sorority Recruitment. So that is part of our PHA, or Panhellenic Association Council. And this recruitment process is the largest recruitment that council does, and truly all of our councils do. That those organizations make up about 65% of our entire community. So they have large chapters. And the main way that students can join this community is through fall formal recruitment, which happens a week before classes start. So students will move into their dorm early and go through a week-long long process of meeting the organizations, learning their values, what makes them different, the fun financial transparency of these organizations throughout that process. That, like I said, is the main way that students join, but it's not the only way. They also have an opportunity to join once the semester starts. For our other organizations, recruitment looks like you're coming to campus first. We will have Union Fest where a majority of our organizations will be tabling. And then for our National Panhellenic Council and our Multicultural Greek Council, they will be hosting a MGC and an MPHC week respectively in the week of September to get you more acclimated to the council, meet the chapters, and have that experience. For our IFC, they will also host a structured recruitment process in September where you can learn more about the organizations called IFC Experience Day. But they recruit all year long, so we do encourage you to reach out to their social media or fill out their interest form on their website to get more information and get connected to chapters.
Thank you so much for that. So for Panhellenic recruitment,
Mhm.
is registration currently open?
Yes, registration is currently open on their website, kupanhellenic.com. It will close July 28th.
Okay, thank you so much. And so now I want to ask you a couple of questions that parents, families, and guests have asked just to get your insight into how parents can support their students if they get connected to the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life.
Sure.
So, first, how can sorority and fraternity life help students develop leadership skills and prepare for future opportunities?
So, these organizations offer many different leadership opportunities, not only within their chapter, but also in their governing council. Each of the governing councils I mentioned has a student ran executive board, all the way from president to community service VP to recruitment. So, there's multiple opportunities to get involved on the council level. And each chapter also has their own governing board. So, it gives the students the opportunity to have hands on experience. They get to manage a team or an organization, get to manage events, and make some decisions that are critical to not only their chapters, but also the community. They also have workshops, retreats, and mentorship programs that students can learn more about communication, conflict resolution, time management, and strategic planning. We also offer what I like to call our chapter support model. So every staff member in our office meets with the chapter president twice a semester to connect with them on what is going on in the chapter, how we can support them, and work through any problems. So they have an opportunity to learn about responsibility, accountability, preparing for meetings, and sharing out what is going on in their chapters, and also having opportunities to collaborate with other campus partners, our office, and community organizations to help build a strong network.
Wow, that sounds like a lot, and sounds like you all are offering our students wonderful opportunities to continue to develop so that they can go out and change the world
Of course.
once they leave KU. So, this is a great segue into my next question for you. How much time does sorority and fraternity life typically require
Mhm.
of a student leader, and how can students balance with their academics?
Yeah, great question. I would say the time commitment varies based on the chapter and also the individual's involvement. But on the baseline, this will include, excuse me, weekly meetings, and then required monthly events and service hours, as each chapter has a required number of service hours that members have to hit each semester. How they balance, and my best advice for students going through this process is to communicate and have an agenda or a calendar up to date. First and foremost, they are students, and the organizations do understand that, and they have required GPAs to maintain their membership in the organizations. So chapters really do want them to focus on their academics, but they have to be able to communicate when things are going on, communicate in a timely manner, and also have an up-to-date calendar that they can rely on to plan all their events and have a well-rounded organization structure in place.
That sounds wonderful. And so, once students get involved with the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life, what initiatives, programs are offered for the well being of sorority and fraternity life members, particularly when we think about topics like hazing, alcohol, drugs, and mental health?
Of course. So here at the University of Kansas, we are very collaborative across all of our student affairs departments. So we partner with student conduct and community standards, counseling and psychological services or CAPS, and our health education resource office or HERO, to name a few for partnered education events around the following topics mentioned. Specifically, when it comes to hazing, the university has a zero tolerance policy, and our office has a very strong relationship with student conduct to provide education on the forefront and then step in if needed if some if for some reason that the right decisions aren't made.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then my last question for you is how can parents and families best support their students during the recruitment or new member process, especially if the experience begins to feel emotional,
Mm,
overwhelming, or it might not go as the student expected?
yes, of course. That is a great question. So I would say first and foremost, listen and validate your students' feelings. I encourage you all to be patient and listen actively, acknowledging that recruitment and any new member process can be very emotional and overwhelming. I encourage you all to stay positive and supportive. Remind your student that not everything will go perfectly and that setbacks or unexpected outcomes are a normal part of growth and exploration. And sometimes those setbacks are blessings in disguise because it gives students an opportunity to just explore things and discover things that they maybe not had on their radar, but was perfect for them. I would also encourage you to focus on the bigger picture. Remind your students that while SFL is an amazing opportunity, it is just one part of the college experience, and there are many opportunities outside of this one for connection and growth on campus. And lastly, I would definitely encourage you to be familiar with our campus resources. So make sure you are reaching out to our office or CAPS if you need additional support, so we can provide that for your student.
Thank you so much. It sounds like the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life has a variety of resources and information for students that want to get involved and connected. And I'm glad that you shared that last piece about the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life being just one of the multiple ways that we
Mhm.
provide for our students to get connected to campus.
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm sure the parents and families would like to know how can they find the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life when they visit the campus.
Of course. So if you're coming during orientation, we will be at the orientation fair tabling. So feel free to stop by our office, ask questions over the summer. If you're coming after the fall semester starts, we encourage you to reach out to our email at kusfl@ku.edu or give us a call at 785-864-0808 so we can set up an appointment to meet with you, answer any questions, and just see how we can help.
And where can they connect with you on social media?
You can connect on our Instagram. We have KUSFL as our page. Instagram is the best place to connect, but we also do have a Facebook.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you have found this first session of Student Affairs Shares valuable and insightful. Thank you, Taylor, for being a part of this and giving us this great information today. And we will see you next time on Student Affairs Shares.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.